We're good. Commissioner Medina Hernandez.
Yes,
Great.
I mean present here, sorry.
Yeah. Roll call. Commissioner Wallace Dunlap.
Speaking, here.
Thank you, sir. Good to have you tonight. Commissioner Giorgiani.
Here.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
And Commissioner Pettix is absent. Commissioner Caldwell is absent. And Chairman Wright is absent. Let the record reflect we have enough for a quorum. At this time, if we can stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to read the Notice of Public Meeting Act here. Notice the Meeting Act. This meeting of the Board of Commissioners will take place electronically in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically NJSA 10:4-9.3. Notice of this meeting was given by one public advertisement with sufficient notice herewith to the Home News Tribune. Filing advance written notice of this meeting with the city clerk's office, and 3, posting this notice on the public website of the Housing Authority. During the meeting, participants, including members of the public, may be muted by the host. However, there will be an opportunity for them to participate and speak during the public portion of the meeting, where participants will be unmuted at their request. Sorry. Yep, we're gonna consideration of meeting minutes. Did you guys have an opportunity, commissioners, to review them? There are no questions. I'll need a motion in a second through the chair.
Okay, are there any questions about any of the minutes? Okay,
Great.
move forward.
I'll need a motion in a second, please, on the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Yanni.
Second.
Who's second?
Walde.
Walde. Sorry. Second. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez.
Yes,
Commissioner Dunlap.
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani.
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes 4-0 with absence Pettix, Caldwell, Wright. At this time, public comment. Does anyone have anything to say from the public?
Mr. Cradaville?
See him.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I guess I have to start by noting I think Mr. Walde might be onto something. The agenda has a password in it that for me did not work. Normally I'm on 2 devices and I'm calling in on my phone. The link on your website works fine, but the dial-in number, at least when I tried it, did not work. So I'll just give my comments from this device, and I'll leave it to you to look into that. Disappointed that we are here with a redevelopment matter with, again, no meaningful information about the project on the authority's website, just the same 3 paragraphs. And, I know we're all familiar with this project at this point, and, there's ample records about it, but none of them on the authority website. And, for the other 50,000, 60,000 people in town, it would be nice for the authority to present some information about what's going on in terms of redevelopment. I did want to ask about the Franklin Township Housing Authority, because I know their agreement is on for tonight to, I guess, extend the interlocal agreement. Just wanted to ask if anything is changing there, or if it's the same agreement being extended, and what the authority sees going forward. Is this something you're trying to continue doing in perpetuity, or would you want to get rid of this arrangement, or maybe bring in other authorities? I think that was something that was mentioned in the annual plan.
Dan?
you're asking me to reply to a comment?
Yes,
So we're gonna start replying to comments now? Okay. So, Mr. Cradaville, I did this afternoon, sent you the documents. I wasn't sure if you had an opportunity to review the agreement with the Franklin Housing Authority and the commissioners from this end. Were you able to review the voluminous document spread that I sent you?
I received it and I'm grateful for it. I did not get the chance to review it, and I don't know how it compares to the prior year, the current year agreement.
okay. So that information was sent to you, Mr. Credible, when you have some time to review it, and then you can follow up with Dan, any additional questions that you may have with that, if you can have that opportunity to review those documents.
I will. I
Thank
guess.
you.
Yeah. I guess. My question for the board was where you're seeing this going. Is this something you want to continue for longer? Obviously, tonight you're going to vote to extend it for another year. Is this something the authority thinks is a good proposition? Are we, bringing in money from it, or no?
It will be just something that we'll be looking at and discussing and further, and so we're developing our strategic planning and moving on in the future. And in the meantime, please take a look at the items that you received and any questions that you may have.
Of course.
I do, Chair, I would like
You have
to-
another question?
No, I have to answer Charlie's first.
Oh, I'm sorry,
About
miss.
the-
I thought it was
about the
Charlie asking a
website.
question.
Sorry, Chair. I do want to be clear to my board. It's been a long, arduous process. Don't ask me to spell arduous because I would probably mess it up. But I wanted to use that word because that's the feeling I've had. We did hire from the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office. He was also a journalist for a long time, so I'm sure Charlie, you can have a lot of questions for him. Joel Bewley, he will be updating our weekly whatever these IT guys do. They're going to start putting stuff on, sensitive material. It may not be to the level that you appreciate things being on the website. I have some internal data that I want to share with my board members first before sharing with anyone else about how many people actually look at the website daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. We will be a little more interactive, and I think that we've been beaten up about this, but it's not the only form of communication. And quite frankly, I understand where you're going with this, Charlie. Now I have a gentleman who's very familiar with it, and they start doing things on Facebook and Instagram, and not because you're asking for it, but I think it's the right thing to do, and it's good for our residents who are looking for housing. We are in a housing crisis. It's clear, and sprucing up the website and getting the information out to people should be the root cause of why we want to go ahead and use that avenue of communication. So thank you, Charlie, and hopefully you'll find Joel to be very receptive to your concerns and so on.
Well, thanks. That's good news, and thank you for the updates. And yeah, I don't mean to beat anybody up. I just keep bringing it up because I think it's something that does benefit the public and the authority to get the word out about what's going on, so we can all operate on a higher level with more information using modern technology. But I've got to say, I think we're probably all in agreement. It was a great thing that you did sort of restart the public process around the annual plan, and had a really a packed room for the public hearing. That I was fortunate to be able to be there and make a comment and record the thing. And I think credit where credit is due to the executive director and the staff for getting the word out and really making a compelling case for that major item in the annual plan of moving towards getting a lot more units for the property that's currently Schwartz Homes in Robeson Village. And I think it's something that's worthy of a lot more discussion, and seems to be a big step. So I was pleased to be able to be there, and want to encourage those of you who might not have were not there to be able to. You can watch our video on the New Brunswick Today YouTube channel and see the discussion that took place there at the community room. And Yeah, a final question. I did want to just ask. I saw something on the website about a special meeting on September 11. Did that happen, or what was the purpose of that? And yeah, what can you share about the meeting?
Good question. The meeting never took place. It's a internal matter that we have to handle, that sometimes we have to go into executive session, but it has nothing to do with redevelopment or public housing matters of that nature. It's an internal HR matter.
Got it. Well, yeah, thank you for answering my questions and hearing me out.
Great. Thank
Okay,
you, Charlie.
and thank you, Charlie, for those positive words in regards to the meeting that they had with the residents of our living areas. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Dan.
Anyone else from the public would like to say anything? I don't want to call your name out. I see some guys, but no?
No one else had their hands up or anything.
I'm going to give you 3 seconds to say anything. Not my board members, sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so let's move on.
Yep. Report of the secretary and subcommittees, committees, so on. I put some informational things, but I think the major thrust of where we are now is that our annual plan is obviously a small snapshot of what we want to do over the next 5 years. And HUD really, truly requires us to have public notification about anything that resembles or looks like a significant change in what we want to do. And, you know, looking for new housing on our property is, and I think the number of people, like Charlie said, that came out of concern, they don't want to leave here. You know, everyone says, oh, I want to go somewhere else. They don't. The residents are very comfortable here. They want to remain here. And we're going to do our best to provide them with new housing. That's all I can say. We're going to all work together. This board's going to work together once we get a plan started. But the initial step had to be the public notice. And Reporter Cradaville called me on it in July. I didn't want to have a problem with him and anyone else. So I contacted regional office of HUD. They said the best thing to do is just re-advertise it, open it up to the public. And we went one step further, and Charlie didn't tell you. We gave notice to everyone here. We provided them with the plan, the written plan to HUD. So they had it in hand and they came here, and we were able to translate in English and Spanish and kindly enough have it recorded, and that will be on our website. But overwhelmingly, they want new housing, and we will deliver that project. I don't know when, but at least it's on the agenda. And we made that benchmark. Other than that, we're good. We're going to move forward. Any unfinished business we need to discuss now? Commissioners, no? Okay,
No, move forward.
great. We're going to close out those items, so I'll need a motion in a second. I'll do them uniformly across. Alberto, that's fine, right? Okay, let's close out public comment, and we'll close out the other items I just mentioned. So I'll need a motion in a second to close out those matters.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Motion. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes,
Commissioner Walde. Commissioner Walde,
Did we lose
Yes,
him?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I had it on mute.
let the
All
record
right.
reflect motion passes 4-0 with Pettis, Colwell, and Wright absent. At this time, we're going to move to new business. NBHA Resolution 48, resolution approving a revised concept plan for property known as Block 707.04, Lots 7.07, 7.08, and 7.09, the retail lots of the New Brunswick tax map, and Second Amendment to the redevelopment agreement by and between RTF, NB Urban Renewal LLC, original redeveloper, with RTF Urban Renewal LLC, retail redeveloper, and the Housing Authority acting as a redevelopment agency. This is the Russo project. I have Council of Redevelopment, Mr. John Hoffman, with us this evening, and I'll turn this over to him.
Yeah, Dan, you described it. It's a very minor amendment dealing with the Russo project on the Sears property, on the old Sears property. It only deals with the retail portion, not the residential. The residential staying the same. In essence, what's happening is they're knocking down the old south of the border restaurant. And they originally proposed about a 3,500 square foot restaurant, but they're changing that to 6,000 square foot restaurant with a 1,200 outdoor seating capacity, 1,200 square foot of outdoor seating capacity. That's where the south of the border will move. And where south of the border is now located will be about 175 parking spaces. That is, the planning board has approved the site plan for this, and there is no change whatsoever in the residential. This retail change conforms with the redevelopment plan. And I think there's somebody here from the developer.
Luke, are you available to speak on it?
I am, yes.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure I can say much more than Mr. Hoffman just put together. As he said, it was a very minor site plan amendment that was granted by the planning board. It's to relocate the On the Border restaurant from lot 7.07 to lot 7.08. So just moving one lot over and replacing where the existing restaurant is with parking that will serve the entire project. As Mr. Hoffman noted, it remains consistent with the redevelopment plan. The tweaks that are required for the amendment are really just to the descriptive portions of the project. We're not, amending the terms of the redevelopment. It's just an amendment to the description of what will be built based on the amended site plan approval that was granted.
Great, Luke. Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions while we have them here now?
Okay, thank you for making that correction, of naming the facility on the border.
Yeah, I guess I
Yes,
fell with the Floridians, so south of the border, I got confused. I'm sorry.
Yes, so, okay, so so no other building, no other facility will be in the place where On the Border is once it is knocked down? That is
That'll
just-
be about 175 parking spaces in that area.
Okay, now there is another, location that closed. Houlihan's, is that something that is going to be, used, or once that's gone, or what is it that, so, knowing that as well too, is there any plans for that location as well for Houlihan's?
At this time, there is not. It is proposed to remain as it is.
I have a question. South of the border, are you moving it?
The border.
You're on the border, on the
On
border.
the
I'm
border,
sorry.
whatever. On the border, okay.
We have to have it correct when we're speaking about
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
so.
Are you moving it to a new location?
Yeah, On the Border is gonna be demolished,
Okay.
and the new location was before they had about a 3,500 square foot restaurant plan. They've eliminated that, and now they have an approximately 6,000 square foot restaurant plan with an outdoor seating area of about 1,250 feet, or 7,250 feet for the whole facility. And that's where On the Border will move.
It's
Okay.
moving right to the property next door. So it's still
Yep.
within this larger Sears development. It's just on the lot next door to where it is today.
But Houlihan will be leaving though, right? Are they going to move into the new building? Or?
Houlihan is not-
On the Border is going to be moving into the new building. Houlihan's, as of now, I'm unaware of any changes to the Houlihan's. That's proposed to remain where it is.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the commissioners?
Yep.
Okay, we're okay with this minor change? I'll need a motion in a second.
A
I'll make a
motion.
motion.
Second.
Deanne Motions. Second. Medina Hernandez. Sorry. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes,
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Let's let the record reflect. Motion passes 4-0 with Pettis, Colwell, and Wright absent.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much.
Mr. Hoffman. Thank you,
for the
Luke.
meeting.
See you guys later.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Just give him a second to log off. Okay, we're gonna move to NBHA resolution number 49. These are the payment of bills for the month of July. We'll have to do August as well because we did not meet in August in relations to our day-to-day operations. So resolution authorizing and approving the payment of the bills for the month of July.
Okay, you had just indicated for the month, okay, month of August
I
is
did
there.
not, I didn't do August because I think I have, oh, let's do them together. Alberto, you want to earn some money tonight? I can do them both together, right?
You absolutely
Yeah,
can, Dan.
you always
Yes.
cover me on that. And then NBHA resolution number 50, resolution authorizing and approving the payment of bills for the month of August 2024. So you have both bills for July and August.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. It doesn't seem like there's any questions, so we can move.
Okay, who would like to move?
Move.
I'll make the motion.
Walden
Second,
moves, second Medina Hernandez. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez
Yes,
on both resolutions 49 and 50 for the record.
yes,
Commissioner Dunlap,
yes,
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes 4-0. With Pettix, Caldwell, and Wright absent.
Mhm.
NBHA resolution number 51. This is the resolution Charlie spoke about earlier, approving interlocal agency agreement between New Brunswick Housing Authority and the Franklin Housing Authority. We provide a service, I can enlighten everyone. There,
yes,
like no other, we provide a service for the clean, livable areas of public housing and the voluminous caseloads that my two caseworkers have there for Section 8. And it's something that we do on a small purse string for them, and we provide really, really good service for people that need housing.
I have a question on that.
Yes, sir.
Franklin Township. Now, we've been doing that for the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years or something like that.
Believe so.
How come they're not hiring their own executive director? Just a general question.
So, okay. From my understanding with John for years, because I used to beat him
Mhm.
up because I would have to go over there and do these inspections, these ruthless inspections. And we're providing a service there. Now it's up to $230,000. You'll see
Mhm.
the budget item that we charge up to. Sometimes a little short of it. That's our budget. And it would virtually be almost impossible for them to hire an executive director for a price and then have a receptionist, caseworkers to work on it. With inflating costs that contribute to pension flows. And HUD actually encourages, I hate to use the word regionalization, but partnering with other agencies as a
Mhm.
form of revenue coming back to the main authority, which would be us, right? Because we were able to do it.
Hmm.
Through the transition and through some of the bumps that I ran into, it did take up a lot of our time. Once you're able to get it under control, it's almost like a cookie cutter operation. You have to stay on top of it, Commissioner Walde. You've got to tell the recipients of any type of subsidy, like people in Section 8, we're not giving you second and third chances to turn in your stuff. If it's not in, we're going to the list. You'll be removed. We'll go to the list to process the application. So if you're someone who believes in public housing, Section 8, affordable housing, low income, and helping people, we are providing that service.
Mhm.
So we should be credited, at least patted on the back for that work that we do. We do get a small amount of money back. Maybe that's something we can negotiate next year. And but right now, because of where we were in the budget, our budget year there begins now, October 1st, and ours ended in July. We could start negotiating now till next year if you want to increase the amount of money that we're asking for.
Okay. Now, if I can mention the plan here, I think one of the things you mentioned is to get more housing authorities that we can manage in the future. In
If
the
I had the
plan,
staff,
about 4 or 5, if I remember correctly.
yeah, we can't do
Can
that.
we afford to do that with the existing staff?
No. So here's the other thing that happened, and I think Alberto can back me up on it. I put ads out. We try to find college educated or experience educated people. Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you don't have the wherewithal to understand how this process works. The big thing is everyone wants to know, how much am I getting paid? We are in another market for employment. The number one thing is, besides that, they all want to know how much are they getting. Before, you would pay like these caseworkers 35 to 45 or 35 to 50,000. Like, you would go up to 50. You've got to come in over 50,000 now just to even entertain someone. They're not interested. If they are, they're hedging their bets and they're going back to an employer and saying, "Oh, look, New Brunswick Housing gave me an offer of 58,000," and they use that as leverage. I lost someone from Edison like that. They weren't even in the field. We were just hiring them because we thought they were sharp enough and smart, and they were local, and they had a college education. They used us for that job offer letter, and they went back to their job. So, but it is difficult. I think HUD understands that. You've got to raise the bar. If people in the industrial park area, if I may go off for a second, the people that work the front lines and the second and third shifts at some of these factories that are here on Jersey Avenue, they're getting $20 an hour. Then their employer, whoever that part-time agency or temp agency, sorry, they're making another 20, 25. So that's $45 an hour. We're not paying our people that. I've got a part-time inspector I'm paying. I got him out of UPS because HUD required me to have 2 inspectors. It was too many for one. So I think it's fair that we ask HUD for more money next year. And I think it's fair that we ask Franklin, if they want us to keep going, for more money. Because it's, in order for me or this agency to hire people, the wages have gone up, or you can't find them. So I can turn it over to Alberto. He can share some of his experiences, just merely people in the law firm. They can't even find attorneys at a reasonable level.
Yeah, no, Dan, you're absolutely right. I mean, and remember, New Brunswick had a lot more staff originally, and throughout the years, you've had a number of attrition, and that's for purposes of saving money, because a lot of these issues, especially with the benefits, with retirees and paying the retirees as well. So that's where that's where you stand. And that's why, as Dan mentioned to begin with, the HUD is recommending that these agencies do these interagency agreements so that you can share staff, and be able to do those services especially for smaller authorities like Franklin Township, and it allows New Brunswick to be able to get that additional revenue coming in at the same time.
Any other questions? Commissioner Walde, you're okay with that?
Yes, somehow.
Well, you worked.
No, because if we can't recruit, quote unquote, good employees, how are we going to expand taking over other housing authorities? So that's my question. But we can discuss that at a later time. So.
Okay. That's great. So for resolution 51, I'm sorry, Chair.
No. Thank you, Yergi. It's same thinking as well too, but another discussion that we're going to have with that. I understand what HUD is saying, but there has to be the situation as well too, is with the funding, the money to have that, and not burning out your staff members as well too.
Okay.
Great. Okay, at this time, I'll need a motion and a second on resolution 51.
Move.
Okay.
I'll second.
Giorgiani seconds. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap.
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani.
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes 4-0. Pettix, Caldwell, Wright absent. NBHA Resolution 52, resolution approving and adopting the late submission of the HUD PHA annual plan because we had to re-advertise for proper public notice. Would anyone like to hear any?
Move.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have
Or
a few
comments?
questions on the plan.
Go ahead, Yergi.
Okay, one is on development. You have Hillebrand Commons, which will be 66 units, hopefully in the next year or two. Shores Homes, we said we're in the plan, we said we're going to demolish 259 units.
Yep.
And then between 2026 to 2036, we're going to build 2,000, so just brief explanation. I know
Well,
funding and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a wish list. We have a
Yeah.
consultant. Um, we've spoken about different plans. Some of our commissioners have traveled around the country. They've heard of other areas
Mhm.
that are less desirable. I don't want to badmouth any areas, but they're less desirable than our area. I mean, you're 30 minutes to New York or 45 to an hour to Philly. You've got Rutgers University, hospitals. I mean, this should be doable. It's just a wish list. It's just a thinking.
Okay.
It's the first thing you have to do that HUD requires. Then we have to put the public notice out. Nothing's in stone. So this board will come back and say, we don't want 2,000 units. We want 1,500. And we're going to tell you it might not work. We are required to put back 259 units of low-income housing that exists here. From then on out, the rest of it will be paid by other individuals that would be living on the same grounds.
I thought the 259, it says demolition
Yep.
of 259
Well, they would have to be demolished. We're not going to read
to build new ones.
new ones. Yes.
Okay, so that depends on how much funding we get from the Fed as well as state and all other sources, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of like the Hope 6 project. I'm not saying it is a Hope 6 project, but it's going to be the design plan concept. And I wish Zach was with me. It's going to be more of a city within a city. It'll be one-stop shopping. You're here. You don't have to go too far to get whatever amenities you may need. The big thing at the meeting was, will we have our own washer and dryers? And we don't realize the sacrifices that the residents here have to make, even if it's on a subsidy level. They have to take their stuff, bring it out to a laundromat, hope that it works, hope they can get in there, bring it back. It's quite cumbersome for them.
Okay.
But yes, I think it's just in the initial stages of discussion. You may not like the design when the design's finalized. It may change to garden style apartments. I don't know. All I know is that we wanted to try to bring the residents something. We all know about the concerns and the complaints. I know about the bills as well as you do. We pay over $1 million a year on non-energy efficient buildings. It's quite disgusting, to say the least. Not the buildings are disgusting, the payment, the PSE.
Payment, yeah.
We want to provide housing that's safe. We want to provide housing that works. There are so many families out here. You had to see them. They came with, Charlie's on the line. He can share it since Zach's not here. They came with their kids. Charlie was so worried he didn't say anything. Why are we having meetings at 4:00 in the afternoon? I didn't stop them. They came. Hot and heavy, they came. They wanted us to know. They want to be a part of this. So, like I told them, you have, so that 10-year gap, Commissioner Walde, they needed to have an idea how long this is going to take. It may be quicker, it may be longer. But we needed to do something. We needed to shake the tree. We needed to let the people know at HUD that we're serious. And that's where I stand with that. So,
Okay,
anyone have
thank you
anything?
for that. And as part of the plan, that was the first step, is with the residents, not just putting something together and saying this is what it's going to be, because
right.
these are the individuals who will be living there on an everyday basis, or individuals who have been there for many years. So getting their thoughts and their views is very crucial and very important in moving forward. And then that way HUD sees what is being done with that. Are there any other questions from any of the commissioners?
I have an additional question.
Yes, go
It
ahead.
might be a correction, I don't know. On page 8 of the plan, it talks about adoption of a new master plan as of May 16, 2022, and anticipating amendments of its zoning code. Is the new plan May 16, 2022 or 24? Maybe I misunderstood it.
Is that for Hildebrand or is that for us?
No, no, it's in the plan, page 8. It talks about,
Just had the plan. I got it. 8.
yeah. Where it talks about the plan. Is this a new amendment?
Oh, no. That comes from the city. That was in, I believe, that last year's plan as well. That gives you a generalization of where the city stands and where they're looking for on the affordable end of things. That has nothing to do with our wish list plan that we're.
No, no, it says a new master plan as of May 16, 2022. Is that 2022 or 24? Since it says a new master plan, that's why.
It has to be that one. They wouldn't change that plan after 2 years. Usually a master plan lasts,
Yeah, just check the year, whether
Yeah.
it's 2024, because they are talking about a new plan as of May 16, 2022.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Yurgi. So
Yeah.
we do have to
Yeah,
check
kind
that
of
on the year.
confusing. Yeah, just check the year.
let
in
me
case-
put a note. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have known if that master plan went out today. I mean, this year, but
So it should be 2024.
no,
then.
I don't think,
Just check it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to,
no, I got you.
I was kind of confused when you say new master plan in 2022.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. That's the only question.
No, thank you.
Okay, Dan, you'll check that and get back to and let us know.
Mhm.
It's important even for her, because we gave them the wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think in a way, HUD's just happy we're giving them a plan because they've been waiting since July.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
joking. I'm joking. Okay, so that is resolution 52.
Yes. Any
I
other
believe-
questions? Okay.
I'll need a motion in a second, please.
So move.
Second.
Second.
Waldy seconds. Medina Hernandez.
I beat you, Mr.
Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Waldy.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes 4-0. Pettis, Colwell, Wright absent. NBHA resolution number 53, resolution authorizing and approving fiscal year 2025 HUD fair market rents and payment standards for up to 120% of the fair market rents effective October 1st, 2024.
Move.
Any questions?
Just one
First.
question. I looked at the fair market rent. All of them have gone down. Will that mess up our plan? I mean, our budget.
I can't, we have no, when people are coming to me, they've been out there 3-4 months or coming to my staff and saying, these vouchers are useless. They're worthless. They're so competitive. Landlords aren't renting. So we contacted HUD. We asked them, they said, you can go ahead. You have that right. You need your board to approve that. We have to give them a fighting chance, the individuals with these vouchers. They have families. I'm not saying they're living in their cars, but living on someone's couch gets old after a while. So we found it necessary to go ahead. We just went out on the market. We put out another 50 because we're a little under leased. We're at 782. We have 782 active, and we can go to 1,000. And we should go to 1,000. It's costing our agency money. I'm losing $16,000 a month because we're not at full occupancy, and we should be. But
what about the reduction? All the rent.
Well, that's what
there
they
is a reduction in each rent for one from studio to 3 or 4 bedrooms. There is an average of $150 reduction from last year.
Yeah.
That HUD is
Good luck
providing.
finding that. Good luck finding that reduction. It's just not units are going for like $3,000. I'm not talking about living in a closet. I mean, you've got some of these unscrupulous landlords out here that are trying to get away with using closets as a 2-bedroom. It's just really, really tough in our area. It's so tough. Like when people talk about housing crisis, they're not talking about Timbuktu, Texas, not in the city, outside. Like, okay, you might have housing there. No one wants to live there. They want to live here. This is a prime area. Most of the people that are
Transportation and all that
yeah,
is a problem too.
they've lived here all their life. They don't want to have to move. I try to send them to Long Branch. I try to send them down the shore of Cape May. They don't want to go, but they can't afford it here. I have the same problem at Franklin. It's difficult. Alberto, right? I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Dan. No question.
Alberto's up in Hoboken. You need like 5,000 for a 2-bedroom up there. He's laughing, but I'm serious.
You
Yeah,
can
no, I
afford
mean,
that. Go ahead.
no question. No question. Easy.
I have
Yeah.
a board member, Felix Vargas, in Franklin, former boxer guy from New York. That's all he does is real estate. You got to hear the horror stories. I mean, it's vicious. He wants to get these landlords locked up. I mean, I kind of don't blame him. I could put 6 college kids in for 8,000. Why am I going to rent to somebody who's going to bring me $2,000 or $2,400? It's awful. So yes, we had to try something.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all
So
right.
with that being said, Dan, regarding the 120% upgrade
Yep.
and the vouchers being not really usable to the advantage of the holders, what we're doing with it?
Well, we're going to increase it to 120, so they'll get more money on the voucher, and that may spur some
Landlords?
landlords to jump
Yeah.
at, because it's automatic money coming direct deposit. They're not chasing college kids. They're not chasing other people. So we're hoping that throwing money at the problem is an answer. It's very tough for us when we see families coming here with little kids, tears in their eyes, they're crying, screaming, that they can't find any housing, and they've got an actual voucher, like cash in their hand.
Correct. That's what got my attention when they have a voucher, but they can't use it for the purpose of what it was sent to be used for. What are we
Originally.
doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I agree.
No, thank you. We know that that's been a very high challenge within the communities, especially a voucher, which is very secure. But as you indicated, Dan, a lot of times it's looking at how much more money can be made. So but that's fine with the 120%. So if there are any other questions for Dan? Okay, Dan.
Okay. I'll need a motion. Move. I'm
Motion.
sorry. Move, please. Waldy.
Move,
Oh, Wallace.
move,
Dunlap.
move,
Thanks,
move.
Commissioner. I got you.
Second.
Second.
Yes. Second.
Waldy. Okay, great. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap.
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani.
Yes.
Commissioner Waldy.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Pettis, Colwell, Wright, absent. Last resolution of the evening. NDHA Resolution 54, resolution authorizing and approving the write-off of certain rent in the total amount of $37,754.23. It's public housing rent that's deemed to be uncollectible. There's a process my caseworkers go after. There comes a certain period of time that we just close out the debt. You can never get it. And they've reached that.
Okay. So are these then are not collectible, are individuals who are no longer living there? And
Exactly.
okay,
Exactly.
gone through the process of
Yeah, they're
whatever
not here.
court
I
and
wouldn't be bringing that to
they're
you.
gone. Okay.
They're gone.
All right. Okay. So that was and for the year of that amount?
So, no, because our year just started in July, right?
Okay, so
That's a
this was-
rollover. This is more triggered when we know we can't get the money. We send out collection letters. They're gone. We can't find them. It's just uncollectible. You'll never be able to get it from them. And the good thing is that the individuals that do owe us the money, if they ever rear their heads for any other government assistance, that
Hmm.
HUD will deny them because they're on that list.
Okay. Any other
Actually-
questions? Go ahead.
Actually, it's less than the previous years, it looks like. Yeah.
Thanks, Yurgo. Maybe I'm doing my job. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just luck.
Not criticism, you know. No,
Just
I mean, there were so many buildings too at the same time, but it looks like it used to be like 80, 100 something thousand or something like that. Yeah.
I was
Okay.
gonna say the same thing, Hugo, that's way down to what it
Yeah.
used to be. I remember when it was almost 80,000, 77,000.
Yeah.
So that's, I'm impressed that it's only
Right.
36.
I can tell you this, and a big reason is, and I'm not going to pat him on his back because he's here, but I tell it all the time. Our staff does a really good job of staying on top of that because they understand the dynamics of why we need that money in the office, right? In the budget. But Mr. Camacho's firm does a really good job for us. They do it compassionately. They're not nasty. They serve the individuals with, I hate to use the word threatening, but that's basically what it is. And I think once you tell somebody, look, you're never going to get public housing again or any kind of service, HUD is attached to so many other avenues that you're affected by. So try to use the resources. We try to help them to go to local churches, Catholic charities, think tanks. You know, you've got people out there that have deep pockets of money if you tell them the right story. So our case managers do a good job of that. Alberto's people really do a good job, and I know you perked up a little bit, so I had to give you credit there, Alberto.
No, thank you. Appreciate it, Dan. But yeah, it's as you said, it's a full effort by your staff, by everyone to be able to get that done. So
Thank you. All right, that's it. We're going to take I need a motion and a motion in a second.
Move.
I'll
Move.
second.
Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Pettis, Colwell, Wright, absent. So, any other questions before we go to adjournment? Any other business?
No, it
League of
doesn't seem like-
So the chair was supposed to reach out to you, not my vice chair. But anyone wants to go to the League of Municipality, we have it budgeted, and I think it'd be a good showing to go down and take some of the key classes that can help our agency move forward. Please go through the chair. He'll tell me, and then
When is that?
coming up in November.
No.
Sorry,
Okay. So we'll have him remind Zach to, if he can send that information out
Hmm.
to all of us. So then that
Yes.
way you'll have that. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Dan, we'll have Zach.
Yeah,
I'll
thank
send
you.
him a
I
reminder if he
sent
can
him
send it out.
everything. He is registered to go, and so is Ike Agadosi from Franklin. I usually always ask them, and then I tell them. I know he's been sick, Zach. So
Okay,
maybe-
I'll just
but
ask
you
him.
guys have time. You still have time.
All right, so I'll just ask him. I'll send him just a friendly reminder if he can send that information out to everyone.
Great.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much.
Council President Escobar, do you have anything to say?
No,
Okay.
nothing to say.
All right.
Good job.
times,
Good
times
job.
Thank you for
ahead.
joining
Thank you.
us.
Thank
You've
you.
been great. with
Yeah,
the
thank
meetings.
you for joining us. Another volunteer position that you got to come to. People don't understand it's tough being a volunteer. And then you get beat up and then you're like, wow, what am I doing all this for? But you guys do a good job. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We are all in the Ministry of Love and Serving.
I
So
like that. the
part of
Ministry
it.
Love.
Part of it.
That's awesome. Great. So I'll need a
Okay.
motion in a second to close it out.
So move.
I'll
Second.
second.
Great. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde.
Yes.
Motion passes to close the meeting. Pettis, Colwell, Wright, absent. Thank you guys so much for getting me through. I would have hated to carry this over. It just meant more work. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.